Hello, my name is Amina and I'm your decision-making specialist. And today is April 27, 2020, and that means it is day 42. Yep, 42. Wow. And I am glad you're here. And as always, I am hoping that everyone around you and around them and around them and around them are doing as very well as they can. For the ones that are doing as well as they can and it's not as good as they would like, I'm sending really good wishes, as I'm sure you are too. And it's because I really want for you to know and for me to say out loud that while our videos are talking about living here and now and getting ready to be our very best, even better than before, better than we even could imagine when we go out there to be a contributor, not just a busy person. A person, not just a professional. And in doing that, I think that's very important. And on that other part is that I am totally aware of how many people are not doing okay and how many of their people are not doing okay. And so not for one moment do I forget that everyone is not so lucky to be getting ready to go to that side. They're getting ready to go to another side. And I am really sad for that. And that's where my and really comes in, because I am sad for that. And I have joy for knowing that people like you will be going out there to walk among and with the other people. And some of them will be just as equipped as you, and some won't. And so if I may take just this moment to remind myself and you that we all can tuck something else in our toolbox, and that is to remember to be a little more patient, to act with a little more kindness, and to be more generous with our tolerance, with our caring, with our quietness, and with our acceptance of ourselves, because we need it too. And the more we can give that to ourselves is not selfish. It's self-care for our well-being. And the better that we're able to be, the more we have when we go out there and when we're in here, by absolutely doing nothing except just being centered in our circle. Have you ever walked into a room and didn't know anybody, and then at some moment, some eyelash of a moment, you just saw somebody or heard somebody or stood next to somebody? They just seemed so solid. You are practicing to be one of those people. It doesn't mean that stuff's not going to happen and that you're not 100% or you slip down into the rabbit hole. I'm raising my hand. We all do. You do, I do, all of us do. What it means is inside we are deeply solid. So we can find our way back. We remember our way and we can continue. People like that to be leaders and mentors and carers of other people are really important, because just by being around you, everyone benefits. They do. They benefit by you just being yourself in a culture of progress rather than scrambling for perfection. One of the marketing classes I took, Tony Robbins and Dean Gracioso talk about being people of progress, a culture of progress. And I really like that. And so I've adopted that in my version to myself and with my clients. And I'm offering that to you, that rather than chasing some illusion of being perfect, which means guaranteed setting yourself up for failure because you're not going to get it. I mean, perfection to me is like a wall on wheels. You go to touch it and it slips out away from your hand. And you either fall to the ground or you kind of stumble, or at least it feels like you failed because you couldn't get to it again. You could see it, you could feel it, and just gone. Well, guess what? Guess what? Being a person of progress, you're always going forward, so you're always getting somewhere, so you're always progressing. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And then you are free to choose at what speed you would like to do that. Sometimes slow, sometimes fast, sometimes in between. It's just that you know the topic is always progress, and the details are what you choose. Absolutely. So I have a detail. Today, I was listening to our governor. He gives a briefing of how things are going in terms of the in-shelter and our COVID-19 numbers of how many are ill, how many hospitalized, and how many have died. And if it looks like we're making progress in terms of not as many of each of the numbers, so a little less of the people contagious, a little fewer of the numbers of deaths. And what he said today was that tomorrow he will be talking about a stage of opening up some businesses and some activities on a very slow, steady basis. Nothing all big about wide open Yahoo, anything like that. Just very slowly, methodically, being able to measure how those numbers are going so we can check the nuances, not let them just get out of control and have to start over and use those people as guinea pigs. No, they're not lab rats. They're human beings. And it really is important to be able to remember that each time something is opened, an activity is now able to be going on, every one of us is at risk. Everyone we care about, the people we know, the people we don't know, are at risk. This is brand new. We have no idea about this experiment. So our governor said that he was going to introduce it step by step, have testing, be able to track, and to do this in a way that would keep us as safe as humanly possible. And I was listening, and then I heard some magic words. He said, and we want to be able, if the data shows us it's okay, to start implementing a little bit of this in a few weeks. Not months, weeks. We have not heard that word being talked about as a measurement for a long time. And he said he would give the details. And he also was very clear that only these details would be taking place if the foundational numbers appeared to be going down at a rate and a number enough that it was safe to do this as a trial. And by doing a small amount at a time, one, you can pay attention to it. You can make adjustments if it looks like it's getting a little wonky. And you can figure out what is working, what isn't, and really focus on those details. So it's not like this big picture of everything either out of control or perfect. So actually what he's talking about is progress. And that's what I was just talking about. I just suddenly realized that he and I were talking about the same thing. That's cool. And the other thing that I was thinking is that I appreciate it because what I teach to my clients and how we work is that we figure what plan of action to take, and then we take a small enough step that it's manageable, that it's safe, that it's measurable, and that it matters. It's not just waltzing out there, that it's something that really matters to you, to my clients. And then there's a second step, and that's what the governor was talking about, is taking action, very small, focused, and then the second step is to assess it. Is it working in the way that we wanted? Is it help getting more of what we want without giving us more of what we don't want? So that we keep the ratio of don't wants down and the ratio of wants going up. And as long as those arrows can stay in that direction, we know that we really don't have to make much of an adjustment. We know we're on the right path. If there is something not going well, it's a small enough chunk of our movement that we can take a look at it, and we can kind of look at everything that's going on and say, well, this part's working, arrows going up, the other's going down. It's just this one little piece. And I'm thinking that if I just replace it with something else, or I tweak it just a little bit, or maybe do without it for a while, that everything will be on track. And that is what I heard from the governor, and that is what I'm going to offer you today, is that while you're still here and getting ready to go out there, or your state is already opened out there, you still have some choices to figure out how you can do it in a way that you can feel safe and that you can pull back a little if it starts not feeling safe to you. And that when you go to your job or back to your office or open up your company, that you already have a plan, a really good plan to keep yourself, everyone else, and your customers very safe. I think safety is the huge word of this era. So pay attention to how you want to keep yourself and everyone around you safe. And the thing is that if you're safe and you do it in small increments, then you can always add a little bit more to it. And if it's not, you can take a little bit more of a step back, knowing that it's not forever, knowing that you'll be stepping out again really soon and be safe. So it's a balance act. And I'd like you to consider that for yourself so that you can be physically safe and emotionally safe, so you don't have to be worried or afraid or hesitant, so that you know that it's a small enough step, you've taken precautions to be safe, and you're really checking it out inside and outside to keep safe. All right. And as far as I know, I will be here tomorrow, and I hope you will be. And even when you go out there, I hope you'll come back, because I will be here and I will be watching for you. You are really important. Take care, and remember that you are still writing your story, and you are going to have the most incredible legacy when you go out there. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for you. Even though it could be scary, I know that you're going to keep it safe as possible, and your legacy is going to be rich and wonderful and better than you could ever imagine. All right, take care. Come back tomorrow. Click that subscribe button, huh? Thank you. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye.